Hello and welcome to Tuttle Data. Today I'm going to show you how to take a text string that has some information you want in it and extract that out, whether it's a word or a phrase, and put it in a new cell or new column. So to start off, we have some text strings here, and we want to get the target word out of that and put it into a new cell. So just as reference, we want to see the length of the text itself. So if we do equals len or length, we can select the cell and click enter. And so if we drag that down, we can see the different lengths of cells that we're working with here. So regardless of that length, we're going to be able to extract the target word that we want and pull it out. So to do that, we need to find the starting position of our target word. So to do that, we have equals find, and in quotes, we want to do target. And our text within is going to be that cell reference for B3, and click enter. So we can see that the starting position or number of characters in that our target word is, so the T in target, is 30 characters in. We can drag that down and see that it varies between whatever our text length is for each cell. So to extract the actual word for target, we're going to do equals mid. So the mid formula just extracts something from within a text cell and pulls out what that is. So we'll do the text as the cell reference. The start number, we can just use the reference here for 30, and then the number of characters. We know that target is 6 characters, but if you had something like a phrase or a longer word, you can use length, len, in parentheses, and add that into quotation marks. So, but here we'll just use 6, click enter. And then we'll drag this down, and we can see that target, regardless of the text length or the position of the target word, that we can pull target out into it. And for combining the formula, you can just use it here. So it'll just be combining the pieces. So for the mid, we have the B3 cell reference. We're finding where target is as the starting position, and then we have 6 as our number of characters that we want to extract. And that's it. So, I mean, that's the basic level of extracting text from a string. And if we wanted to make it more advanced, like if you had different text that you wanted to get out of it, or the varying lengths and positions of things are going to be changing, we can extract that dynamically from the text cell. So one of the things here we can note is that it's delimited by a colon or a semicolon. So what could happen is we could take the data that we have here, and from the data tab, do a text to columns and split that by the delimiter. But it comes out with source and channel and region all still being in those cells. So if we wanted to just extract the name of that source or that channel, well, we're going to do that now. So from here, we want to know in our example where the first header is. So if we bring source and channel and region into the headers as our references, we want to know where they start within the text string. So here we'll do find, and we'll use H2 for source as our reference, and we want to find it within this cell. So we can see that the first character is where source starts. And this will change when you do like channel or region, but just for source, the first one. Then to get the starting position of the target word, we need to include the length of the word source itself. So let's do equals length. And let's add 2, because we know that there's going to be 2 additional characters with the colon and the space behind source. So adding 2 is going to give us 8. And so the starting position of our target word is just going to be the combination of those 2 cells. And here's the combined formula here. So you can see we're finding the starting point, adding the length, and then adding 2 for those special characters. So the last part of a mid formula is going to be how many characters we need. So to start with that piece, we need to find out where the word we're looking up ends and use that against the starting position of that word. And the difference between those two is going to be the length of our word, essentially. So to get the end position, we need to use the next section over, which is channel. So if we want to find, we're going to use the I2 reference here for channel. We're going to look in the same cell. And just like we did, we're going to use -2 for those additional characters that we need to account for before the next section. So our position, our ending position for our target word is 16 characters long. And so if we combine those pieces here, for the number of characters, you can either do 16 minus 9, or you can combine them in the formula, which makes it a little bit quicker. We can do find -2 and then subtracting that starting position from there. So now we have all the pieces for our mid formula. So if we were going to do our mid formula, and I'll just copy in the whole formula here, and I'll add it into the description below. But we are going to combine all the pieces from E and G. So we're using mid, using B3 as our reference, and we're locking in the B because we always want to use column B. And then for our headers, so for H2 for source and then I2 for channel, we always want to lock in the second cell. So use the $ before the number, not the character. And so we're combining, so we're getting the starting position, and then the number of characters that we need are behind that. So getting that number from cell G3. So if we click enter, we can see that the source here is digital. And because we've locked in our references for the headers, so for source and channel, and then also for the B3 or just the B column references, we can, on the bottom right corner, we can drag over our cells, our formulas. So you can see the breakout for channels, now marketing, and then the region is West. And because we did that as well, we can double click this, and the drop down will be all the sources, all the channels, and all the regions broken out from this text field. So that's a perfect way and a perfect example to really get the most out of like a dynamic text field if you're searching for things. It takes out a lot of the manual work. So any data that you're adding into it will then just have to be dropped in, and you can drop down the formulas for these things and it will automatically do. So it takes away a lot of the work, a lot of the heavy lifting, and it's a perfect way to get the most out of your data. So that's it. So if you like this video, please like or subscribe and follow for more data tips. And thanks for watching.